Sometimes a house looks perfectly fine from the outside. Lights on, kitchen clean, everything in its place. But inside, it's a whole different story. There are words that never get said and feelings that just sit there, unspoken, and relationships that don't explode, they slowly fade in silence. And honestly, that silence, it hits way harder than any argument ever could. It was one of those quiet mornings, nothing dramatic, nothing loud, just the usual. Sunlight slipping through the blinds, the low hum of a radio playing somewhere in the background, and the smell of fresh coffee filling the house. Emily was already in the kitchen, moving fast like she always did. Toast in the toaster, eggs on the pan, coffee brewing, everything timed just right. She had done this so many times, her hands barely needed instructions anymore. But if you looked at her face, really looked, you'd notice something was off, not just tired, not just I didn't sleep well tired. It was deeper than that. The kind of tired that comes from trying too hard and for too long and still feeling like it's not enough. She carefully plated the breakfast, made sure everything looked perfect, and carried it out to the living room. Martha was sitting there just like every morning, reading the newspaper, calm, quiet, distant. Not cold exactly, but not warm either, just somewhere in between. Emily placed the plate in front of her and said softly, "Breakfast's ready." Martha didn't look up right away. She took a bite, paused for a second, and then said, "It needs a little more salt." That's it. No attitude, no harsh tone, just a simple sentence, but somehow it still stung. Emily nodded like it was no big deal and walked back to the kitchen. But the second she turned away, her expression dropped. Her eyes filled up for a second, just a second, and then she pulled herself together because crying. Yeah, that wasn't really an option here. From the outside, everything looked normal. No yelling, no fights, no drama. But what people couldn't see was the distance, the kind that grows slowly, quietly, until one day you realize you've been living with someone and still don't really know them. Emily had tried at first, she really had, small conversations, little efforts trying to connect, but every time felt like knocking on a door that never opened. So eventually she stopped knocking. And Martha, she wasn't a bad person. Not at all. Life had just shaped her differently. Years of responsibilities, sacrifices, losses, things that don't just go away. Somewhere along the line, she had learned to keep everything inside. So well, in fact, that even she didn't know how to let it out anymore. What Emily saw as distance was actually something much deeper, something broken. Around noon, while Emily was cleaning up the kitchen, her phone rang. She glanced at the screen and froze for a second, then she picked it up quickly. "Hello," her voice changed instantly, softer, lighter. "Hey, Em, it's me." It was her mom, Linda, and something about her tone felt off. "Hey, Mom, everything okay?" Emily asked, already feeling that small knot forming in her chest. Linda didn't answer right away. Then she said, "Can you come see me today?" Emily frowned a little. "Today, yeah, and come alone." That pause, that hesitation. Yeah, Emily caught that. Is everything okay? She asked again. It's important, Linda said quietly. I'll explain when you get here. Now the knot in Emily's chest got tighter. Okay, I'll come, she said. As she got ready to leave, something didn't feel right. She couldn't explain it. Maybe it was her mom's voice. Maybe it was just one of those days. But there was this weird heaviness in the air, like something was about to change. She grabbed her bag, slipped on her shoes, and walked toward the door. Her hand reached for the handle, and then she paused. For no reason at all, she turned back. And that's when she saw Martha standing near the window, watching her, but not the way she usually did. This was different. There was something in her expression, something unfamiliar. Concern, maybe. Hesitation, yeah, maybe that too. Or was it fear? For a brief second, their eyes met, and in that moment, something shifted, not loudly, not dramatically, just enough to feel it. But neither of them said a word. What Emily didn't know was that this wasn't just another normal day. That visit she was about to make, yeah, it was about to bring out a truth that had been buried for years. A truth that wouldn't just change how she saw Martha, it would change everything. Because sometimes it's not what people say, it's what they never tell you that hits the hardest. And when Emily comes back home, nothing is going to feel the same anymore. Sometimes the truth doesn't come crashing in. It shows up quietly, sits right in front of you, and changes everything without raising its voice. And the worst part, you realize you've been seeing things all wrong the whole time. Emily walked into the cafe, scanning the room until she spotted her mom sitting by the window. Linda looked different, not just tired, but tense, like she had been sitting there for a while, going over the same thought again and again. Emily slid into the seat across from her. Hey, what's going on? She asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Linda didn't answer right away. She just looked at Emily like she was trying to figure out where to even begin. Mom, you're kind of freaking me out, Emily said, forcing a small smile. Linda took a deep breath. Emily, what I'm about to tell you, it's not easy. And just like that, Emily's stomach dropped. Okay, she said quietly. Just tell me, Linda reached across the table and held her hand. This is about Martha. Emily blinked. Martha? Yeah. There was a pause, a long one, and then Linda said something Emily wasn't expecting. Martha had a daughter. Emily's mind went blank for a second. What? She whispered. Linda nodded slowly. Years ago, before you ever came into that family, she had a little girl. Emily leaned back slightly, trying to process it. I didn't know that. I know, Linda said softly. Not many people do. Emily's heart started racing. Where is she now? And that's when Linda's eyes filled with tears. She's gone, Emily. The words hit harder than expected. Gone like she passed away, Linda said gently. She was very young. Everything around Emily felt distant for a second. The noise of the cafe, people talking, cups clinking, it all faded into the background. How? Emily asked, her voice barely there. Linda looked down for a moment before answering. It was an accident. Emily swallowed hard, and suddenly things started to make sense. The distance, the silence, the way Martha never really let anyone in. She lost her daughter, Emily said slowly, almost to herself. Linda nodded, and after that she changed completely. She never talked about it, never allowed herself to feel it out loud. She just shut down. Emily stared at the table. All this time, she thought Martha didn't care, but maybe Martha cared too much. I thought she just didn't like me, Emily said quietly. Linda squeezed her hand. It's not about liking or not liking, honey. It's about fear. Fear, yeah, Linda said. When someone loses something that big, they build walls, not because they want to push people away, but because they're terrified of losing again. Emily felt something shift inside her. A mix of guilt, understanding, and something heavier she couldn't name. So, why are you telling me this now? She asked. Linda looked straight into her eyes. Because you're living with her, Emily, she said. And whether you realize it or not, you're standing right in front of that wall. Emily didn't say anything. Maybe, Linda continued, you're the one person who can finally break it. When Emily stepped out of the cafe, the world felt different. Not because anything had changed outside, but because everything had changed inside her. She walked slower this time. No rush, no frustration, just thoughts, a lot of them. Every little moment from the past few months started replaying in her mind. The short replies, the silence, the distance, and for the first time she saw them differently, not as rejection, but as protection. When she reached home, she stood at the door for a second before opening it. The house was quiet, just like always. Martha was sitting in the living room, same spot, same posture, but today Emily didn't see her the same way. She didn't see a distant mother-in-law. She saw a woman who had lost something she could never get back. Emily walked in slowly. Martha, she said. Martha looked up, a little surprised. Emily hesitated for a second. Then she said, "Do you want some coffee?" It was such a simple question, but somehow it felt different. Martha didn't answer right away. She just looked at Emily like she was trying to understand something. "Yeah, sure," she finally said. Emily nodded and went into the kitchen. Her hands shook a little as she made the coffee, not out of fear, but out of emotion. This wasn't just coffee anymore, it was an attempt. When she came back, she placed the cup in front of Martha and sat down across from her. Silence filled the room again, but this time it didn't feel cold. It felt possible, like something could actually begin here. Emily looked away first, opened the door, and stepped out. Martha picked up the cup and took a sip, and then quietly said, "You don't have to do this." Emily frowned slightly. "Do what?" "This," Martha said. Trying so hard, Emily didn't look away this time. "Maybe I wasn't trying the right way before," she said softly. Martha's expression shifted, just a little, but enough to notice. But what Emily still didn't know was that this wasn't the whole story, not even close, because Martha wasn't just carrying grief, she was carrying guilt. Sometimes healing doesn't begin with love, it begins with truth. The kind of truth that's been buried so deep, even the person carrying it is afraid to face it. And when it finally comes out, it doesn't just hurt, it breaks you first before it puts you back together. The house was quiet that evening. Not the usual quiet, this one felt heavier, like the walls themselves were holding onto something. Emily sat across from Martha, the empty coffee cup still on the table between them. Neither of them spoke for a while. But this silence wasn't the same anymore. It wasn't cold, it was waiting. Martha stared at her hands, fingers slightly trembling, like she had been holding something in for years and it was finally pushing its way out. "You should have just left it alone," Martha said softly. Emily frowned a little. "Left what alone?" Martha let out a quiet breath. "All of this trying to understand me." Emily didn't look away this time. "I don't think I can anymore," she said gently. That landed. Martha closed her eyes for a second, then opened them slowly, and when she looked up, something had changed. The wall, yeah, it had a crack in it now. "I didn't just lose my daughter," Martha said. Emily felt her chest tighten. "There's more, isn't there?" she asked quietly. Martha nodded, and for the first time, her voice wasn't controlled anymore. It was raw. "I was driving that day," she said. The words hit instantly. Emily froze. Martha swallowed hard, her hands tightening together. It was raining really bad. She was in the back seat singing something. I don't even remember what. Her voice broke. "I remember turning for just a second, just 1 second, because she asked me something." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "And that's all it took," Martha whispered. The room felt smaller. "Heavy rain, slippery road, I lost control." She paused, like saying the next part would shatter something permanently. "I survived." Silence, a painful, suffocating silence. She didn't. Emily couldn't move, couldn't speak. All she could do was listen. "I was supposed to protect her," Martha said, her voice shaking now. "I was her mother and I failed." Tears rolled down her face, but she didn't wipe them away. "Everyone said it was an accident, that it wasn't my fault, but how do you believe that?" she said, almost laughing through the pain. "How do you live with that?" Emily felt her own tears fall now. Years, this woman had been carrying this alone for years. "No one knows the truth," Martha continued. "Not really. They know what happened, but not how it feels, not what it does to you every single day." She looked at Emily, and for the first time, there was no distance. "Just pain, real unfiltered pain. That's why I stay away," Martha said. "That's why I don't let people get close." Emily whispered. "Because you're scared," Martha nodded slowly. "Because I can't go through that again," she said. And in that moment, everything clicked. All the silence, all the distance, all the moments Emily thought she wasn't wanted, they weren't rejection, they were fear. Emily took a deep breath. Her hands were shaking, but she reached forward anyway. Slowly, carefully, she placed her hand over Martha's. Martha flinched slightly at first, not because she didn't want it, but because she wasn't used to it. Emily didn't pull away. "You didn't fail her," Emily said softly. Martha shook her head immediately. "Don't say that." "I mean it," Emily continued. "You loved her, you still do." "That's not enough," Martha whispered. "It is," Emily said. "Because love doesn't disappear just because something went wrong." Martha looked at her, searching her face like she was trying to decide if she could believe that. "I've been so focused on how you treated me," Emily continued, her voice breaking slightly, "that I never stopped to ask why." Martha's eyes filled again. "And I'm sorry for that," Emily said. That word, sorry, it landed deep. For a long moment, neither of them moved. Then slowly, Martha's fingers tightened around Emily's hand, not fully, not confidently, but enough. Enough to say she didn't want to let go. That night didn't fix everything. It didn't magically erase the past, but something changed. The silence between them, yeah, it wasn't empty anymore. It had meaning now. It had understanding. Later that night, Emily stood in the kitchen again. Same place, same counter, but she didn't feel the same. Behind her, she heard slow footsteps. Martha walked in. She hesitated for a second, then said, "Do you need help?" Emily turned around, a little surprised. Then she smiled. "Yeah, I do." And just like that, something new began, not perfect, not easy, but real. But healing, it's not a straight path. And just when things start to feel okay, life has a way of testing you again. Because the past doesn't just disappear, it waits. And sometimes it comes back when you least expect it. Sometimes, just when things start to heal, life throws something new at you, not to break you, but to test if what you've built is actually strong enough to last. Because understanding someone is one thing. Standing by them when it really matters, that's something else entirely. The next few days felt different, not perfect, not suddenly happy, but lighter. There were still quiet moments, still pauses in conversation, but they didn't feel awkward anymore. They felt safe, like both Emily and Martha were slowly learning how to exist around each other without that invisible wall between them. Little things started to change. Martha asked small questions. Did you eat? Are you heading out? Nothing big, but for her that was huge. And Emily, she stopped overthinking every word. She stopped waiting for criticism. For the first time, the house didn't feel like a place she had to survive in. It felt like somewhere she could stay. One evening, Emily was in the kitchen, scrolling through her phone while something simmered on the stove. Martha walked in quietly and stood there for a second. "You've been busy lately," Martha said. Emily looked up, a little surprised. "Yeah, work's been kinda crazy." Martha nodded. "You look tired." Emily smiled faintly. "Guess it's showing, huh?" There was a pause. Then Martha said something unexpected. "You don't always have to handle everything alone." Emily blinked. That wasn't something she ever thought she'd hear from her. Before she could respond, the phone rang. Martha picked it up. "Hello." Her expression changed almost instantly. Confusion, then tension, then something close to panic. Emily noticed it right away. "What happened?" Martha didn't answer immediately. She just listened, her grip tightening on the phone. "Okay, I'll be there," she said quietly and hung up. "What is it?" Emily asked, stepping closer. Martha looked at her, and for a second she seemed unsure whether to say it or not. "It's the old house," she said finally. Emily frowned. "The one you used to live in?" Martha nodded. "There's an issue, legal stuff. They're planning to sell it." Emily didn't fully understand. "Okay, but why does that sound so serious?" Martha looked away. "Because I never agreed to it," she said. "Turns out the house Martha once lived in, the house where she raised her daughter, was still tied to her name. And now, after all these years, someone wanted it gone. They say I signed the papers years ago," Martha said, her voice tight. "But I didn't." Emily's brows furrowed. "Are you sure?" Martha looked at her sharply. "Yes," she said. "I would never sign that house away." Emily nodded immediately. Okay, then we'll figure it out. That word hung in the air for a second. Martha noticed it. The next day, they drove to the old house together. It had been years since Martha had stepped foot there. The moment she got out of the car, she froze. Everything looked the same. The porch, the windows, the small garden out front, but at the same time, it felt completely different. Like time had moved on, but she hadn't. Emily watched her carefully. You okay? She asked gently. Martha didn't answer right away. I don't know if I can do this, she whispered. Emily stepped closer. You don't have to do it alone, she said. Inside, they were met with a lawyer and a property agent. Papers were spread across the table. There's documentation showing the property transfer, the lawyer explained. It was signed over 15 years ago. Martha shook her head immediately. No, that's not possible. The lawyer slid the paper forward. Is this your signature? Martha looked at it. Her hand started trembling. It looked like her signature. But something about it felt wrong. Emily leaned in, studying it. This doesn't look consistent, she said. The pressure, the flow, it's off. The lawyer raised an eyebrow. You're saying it's forged? Emily looked at Martha. Martha didn't say anything. But her silence said enough. Later, outside the house, Martha finally broke. I can't go through this again, she said, her voice cracking. That house, it's all I have left of her. Emily stepped closer. Then we don't let them take it. Martha shook her head. You don't understand. Every time I come here, it feels like I'm losing her all over again. Emily's eyes softened. Or maybe, she said gently, it's where you can finally feel close to her again. Martha looked at her, tears streaming down her face. I don't know how to do that, she admitted. Emily took her hand. Then we figure it out together. But what neither of them realized was that this wasn't just about the house. The forged signature, the sudden sale, none of it was random. Someone very close to the family had a reason to erase that past completely. And when the truth comes out, it won't just test their bond, it will force them to choose between protecting each other or facing a truth that could tear the entire family apart.